Except where them hands, where them hoes, where them throws, you know what I'm saying? Cecil.
This is why I train in martial arts. A man died after he was punched once. So basically what we have here is a modern day Denmark legend. I'm going to give credit to where credit is due because I first heard about this on Dr. Boyce Watkins' channel. I think it's called Your Black World. When I heard about the story, it made me think about things with Denmark, because that's what some of the legends would tell you, that somebody gets hit one time on a weak spot and they die. And it turns out, from doing my own research on this, I believe I have the point where the man was struck. I believe it's extraneous head and neck point number 4 called YuYao. And I'll show you all that later. But let's go through the story. So basically, somebody, hope that doesn't give me a copyright strike. Somebody, let's see. It says Timothy Warren was driving his Fedex truck in a neighborhood in Portland, Oregon. And this was in 2018, I think. He was driving his Fedex truck when the man he would soon kill screamed Warren was going too fast. He stopped the truck. He was exhausted. He tried to explain to Joseph Magnuson that day in late September and just wanted to get done with his work. Magnuson was unrelenting and hurled numerous aggressive insults and racial slurs at him. So he was calling him all kinds of N-words. This was something that Timothy Warren, couldn't abide, and he stepped out the truck and both men started yelling at each other. So this is where it goes sideways right here. There's no attempt at de-escalation, okay? But this is probably where Mr. Warren ends up getting off for killing Mr. Magnuson, because it ends up being a fight and not self-defense. And what do I tell you? We shouldn't be fighting, okay? Now, again, there's no proof that Mr. Warren was a martial artist in this article. He probably just got an unlucky blow. So he stepped out of his truck, and it says right here, Magnuson took a swing at Warren, and Warren swung back, connecting a single blow above Magnuson's left eye that sent him tumbling to the ground. Magnuson, 55, lost consciousness and died later that evening. Okay? Prosecutors, however, decided not to charge Warren, 41, with the crime because he did not intend to kill the guy. He acted in self-defense. This was September 16th. September 26th. The Multnomah County District Attorney's Office said in a memo released on Monday. Now, some other articles I read about this, it said these things. Warren, the black guy who hit the white guy, was defending himself. Also, Magnuson, the white guy who ended up dying, I hope no kids are watching this. So if any kids are watching this, make them leave, because their eyes are going to be drawn to this phrase right here in the middle of the screen that I'm just going to blow up some. But they're going to see it. Okay, so because Magnuson started yelling racial slurs, and he actually attacked Warren. In some reports, people said that here it is down here. He threw a at the guy before he threw the first punch. So he assaulted the guy twice, because throwing a drink at somebody is assault. So he assaulted Warren twice and then threw a punch at him, and Warren just threw one punch. Now, I think it was an accident personally, because most people, even though I teach this to my students too, because this is kind of interesting, they try to punch you in the eye. I think he was aiming at the guy's eye and missed and hit him in extraneous head and neck 4. YuYao. That's the Chinese name for it. So I don't think he's some kind of secret Denmark expert. I think he got mad, threw a punch, and hit him. And another thing about this, it was another story, right, with this, where it says that Magnuson was in poor health. So the doctors said that they believe that Magnuson's poor health combined with the attack is what ultimately led to the death. Now that dovetails with, I'm not going to use his name because I don't want him pulled into anything having to do with race, even though I don't personally think he would care if I use his name. I'm just not going to do that to him. I'll say one of my instructors has said in some of his videos that some of these Denmark legends come from bad health. These people are in bad health, and then they get struck in a weak spot, and that also contributes to the legends of people dying from Denmark.
FedEx driver in Oregon will not face charges and can report it before he threw a punch that missed.
Yeah, this is on the new
Magnuson
Black
above his
World
left
channel.
eye, knocking him to the ground unconscious.
Can you hear
report
this?
said. Magnuson later died, according to the paper. Oregon law contains no duty to retreat, and Mr. Warren was within his right to exit his vehicle and verbally challenge the manner in which Mr. Magnuson was addressing him, the memo said, according to the paper. Mr. Magnuson was the initial verbal aggressor, had not stopped. Gibbs noted that the decision by Mr. Warren waited at the scene and cooperated. Don't forget to subscribe to the Your Black World YouTube channel. And
don't forget to subscribe to my channel. But the thing is, he didn't act like a guilty person. A lot of times, and from other things I've read, when you get into an altercation and then you run off, you look like a guilty person, because they assume that if you know you did something wrong, you're going to run away because you don't want to get caught by the cops. Okay? So I can't find a reference that said that the guy that died was in poor health. Okay? Maybe the New York Post article has it. But anyway, let's get down to the technical part of this. Maybe it's in that article. If it's there, I'll pull it up later. So I looked in all the books that I had, and this point was not listed in any of them. Okay? Right here, you should be able to see this. This is extraneous head and neck, YuYao. I think it's YuYao, if it's got the apostrophe on the first word here. These are the Chinese characters for it. It's basically right above the eyebrow. So let me get these images in here. So you see this? I think he was aiming for the eye, and he ended up catching him right here. Okay? Now, right where this pupil line ends here, that's gallbladder 14 point. Over here is bladder number 2 pressure point. So first I was thinking he must have hit him in gallbladder 14, but that's too high up. And that's usually used in conjunction with 13, 14, and 15. If it's a one punch thing, I think it's right here, right above the eye. Let me go on to the next graphic of this. So here we go. Right here, okay? Now, normally I would be concerned, so you're basically talking about right on the eyebrow, right above the eye, okay? See where I pointed earlier, this bladder 2, so it wasn't that. Right here, YuYao. Extraneous head neck point 2. I don't know the polarity for it. I'm going to assume it's got a yang polarity because it's like right near the governor meridian and everything on that, going up like that, I think tends to be yang. Because the gallbladder is a yang, organ 2, and I think bladder is yang 2. So I'm going to assume that it's yang. Any element associated with it, I don't know. I don't know of any element that may be associated with it. I have no idea. Now this just popped up to another thing that's definitely deadly, and that pressure point's in the Bible. Hitting somebody right between the eyes. So here is a creepy graphic. Here's a very creepy graphic, but nonetheless, we have YuYao right above the eye here, okay? So I believe that if you strike someone in this pressure point right above the eye, it could cause death if they are already in poor health. I looked in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books. I looked at 5 different books and didn't find this. So I saw something on Amazon that probably has this listed in it. So I'm going to end up ordering that book. So anyway, this is it. This is YuYao. I don't know the polarity of it. I'm assuming the polarity is yang. I don't know. I don't know if there's an element associated with it. Just from an anatomy standpoint, in other articles I looked at, it says that they've used this to treat concussion. So I'm assuming that maybe the brain is pushing up against the skull here. Again, I don't know. And if you strike that, then somebody's already, maybe if they're dehydrated, they've already got poor health, it could aggravate the brain, okay? So right here on this page, this is for the healing aspect. What is YuYao used for? Frontal headaches and or pain in the supraorbital region, and disorders of the eyelid and the pterygium. I don't even know what the pterygium is. So basically, it's used to treat the eye and to treat headaches. I know I've rubbed around here when my head has felt like it was hurting, and it has helped. So, how would you like to recommend? I always do, so don't pop up with that. So anyway, thanks for watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this with people who like to talk about the martial arts. I say God be with the man who had to defend himself and the family of the attacker because they lost a loved one over something that's just totally ridiculous. There we go. Yes. This validates what my instructor was saying, whose name I'm not going to mention because I'm not going to drag him into this mess. Oh, did I get rid of it? Why did I do that? Here we go. A medical examiner also determined Magnuson was in extremely poor health, which contributed to his death, according to the paper. So, there we go. People want to say there's no such thing as Denmark. People want to say that there's no such thing as one punch, one kill, that it's all just force. No, it's not. Someone got hit at a structural weak point. And I believe it was that point right there. He got hit in a weak spot, plus he was in poor health. Right timing, right place, right type of attack, resulting in something that is actually very tragic. Now, let me say this for the record. I'm sorry I have to go on this long, but I want to be thorough, and I have to say this for the people who just want to twist everything. No, I don't think that this was a proper way to handle that situation, okay? I don't condone what either person did. I don't condone yelling at minorities and calling them slurs. And I also don't condone minorities killing people, okay? I don't condone either one of those. So this was a case of two wrongs don't make a right. But Mr. Warren was defending himself, okay? He was defending himself. Now, maybe if he had martial arts training and he knew how to do the knockout for gallbladder 13, 14, and 15, he could have done that to just daze the guy or get him to go down, and then he catches him while he's down before his head hits the ground or something. He does that to him, results in a temporary knockout, and then the guy still lives. They both get to feel macho and throw punches, and he does a Kyusho technique that stuns or knocks the guy out but doesn't kill. But see, then again, luckily in this instance, there were witnesses around that vouched for Mr. Warren. But we don't know how this could have went down if the guy survived. But either way, let's practice some Taekwondo and Judo tenets. Once again, let's practice the Taekwondo tenet of courtesy. Let's practice the Judo tenet of mutual welfare and benefit. And let's practice the biblical tenets of a soft answer, turning away wrath, and turning the other cheek. And just a plain old common sense. Don't yell at people, call them slurs, and then swing at them. Okay? And if somebody calls you a racial slur, if you can help it, okay? If you can help it, try not to hit them. But sometimes I know you got to do what you got to do. All right? So thanks for watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this with people who like to talk about the martial arts and current events and pressure points. And peace.